Well, so, yeah. And, yep, that about says it. Daryl here again for another Sorrow Eternal podcast. Got a couple albums to catch up on this week, and I'm going to jump right into it here. Let's talk about Infinita Symphonia. This is a band who in 2011 released one of my favorite albums of that year, A Mind's Chronicle. Italian band, progressive power metal. They were doing everything right. So when I see that they have a new album, I'm infinitely excited about it. But things have changed a bit. New band members, new style, new focuses, and unfortunately it just doesn't seem to work this time around. What you end up with is a more reserved effort, a radio rock inspired one, where a lot of the qualities that made the original album so good have just kind of been dulled down or even just dimmed. I don't know if it's a reach to be accessible or what, but this was an unfortunate step back for a band that seemed to have unlimited potential. So, it's a little disappointing, but it doesn't erase any hope we have for them for the future. But it certainly gives us pause and kind of wonder where they're going to go from here. If they're going to go back to what they were doing, or if they're going to continue in this direction. A different direction altogether being taken by the band Polyphia, which, if you look at them, you would think it's a One Direction kind of band. It looks like a boy band. They're from Texas, but they're playing an interesting version of instrumental kind of rock metal, in the same vein as the band Animals as Leaders or even Intervals, which is convenient because they have the guitarist from Intervals on the album. It's their new EP, which is titled Inspire, and it's really good. It really is. But the one thing of note, great guitar work, great everything. Even the drumming is great, but the drum sound is so lacking. There's no bass to it whatsoever. It really sounds more like a click track. And I think that with a little bit of bass, with a little extra thump in the kick drum, even in the tom sound, this album would go from a good one to a really, really, really great one. But it was lacking that little bit of punch, and that was the only thing that I took away from it on the negative side. Other than that, it was well played, well written. It's spacey at times, but it's focused. It's really impressive. So hopefully we'll see more from Polyphia with their next effort. Brian this week did a review for the band Shade Empire, which I have not listened to yet, but he really liked it. And I thought it was actually an interesting way for him to finalize it by saying that that Dimmu Borgir and Flesh God Apocalypse couldn't even dream of touching what Shadow or Shade Empire did here. And that says a lot, because obviously those are two bands who are at the top of their game at this point. But apparently Shade Empire is right there with them. I'll be checking out that album. The album is Omega Arcane. I'll be checking that out probably this week. Another album that I did check out was the new EP by a band called Churchburn. Now, Churchburn, very interesting artwork. And as I said in the review, you don't want to judge a book by its cover. You don't want to judge a book by the word on the cover. So Churchburn, burning churches. On the cover, you have a man being crucified on a cross. So there's that. But this band from Rhode Island is a lot deeper than the impression you get initially. It's not straightforward in any way. There's a lot going on. It's not that they're reinventing metal, but they kind of dabble in a lot of different genres and they make them work together. It's only 2 tracks, but excuse me, it's 3 tracks? Yeah. Oh my god. What the hell? It is 3 tracks. Why did I say 2? Whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on in there that you might not expect, because, like I said, you're going to make the judgment based on even the first couple minutes, and you're going to think you understand, but you don't. The same could be said, actually, for the last band we reviewed this week, a band who I will call Eibon. It's either Eibon, whatever it is, from Paris, France. And this was another one. You look at the album artwork, which is really beautiful artwork, if not a little ghastly. And their main influences, Pink Floyd and Varg Vikernes. So there's that. You think you know what you're going to get, but you don't. I mean, it is brutal, sludge, doom-laden, just, it's really eccentric, but really, really focused. And they do a tremendous job. I mean, just hammering everything into your head. The vocals, every time the screaming vocals come in, it just makes your ear canal shake. It's this really dynamic combination of sludge and doom that really works for them. I mean, and again, it's not a one-trick pony. It's not like you hear one song and you go, oh, well, perfect, great. But the track lengths definitely are a little bit intimidating. I mean, when you look at what you're trying to digest, you have 2 songs, one at 19 minutes and 8 seconds, the other at 23 minutes and 48 seconds, and that would be enough to scare a lot of people away. But within each of those 2 tracks, there are a lot of different segments and a lot of very clear cuts where you can tell the song is changing and it's evolving as it goes. It's not just the same thing for 24 minutes. That would be a goddamn travesty. And I think what's worth noting also is that this was recorded in a live setting. It wasn't broken down in the studio. This was recorded basically as them all playing it. And that when you listen to it, you could think that this was rehearsed studio time, everything. It would fool you how good the quality is. So definitely give them a listen. The band Eibon. The album is called 2, and it has 2 songs, which again I don't think is a coincidence. So that was really it for the week. We got a lot of other things going on, a lot of things coming, more reviews this week. We have albums from Galileus, the new My Dying Bride EP, band Upon Wings, and the band Pellic. And I'm really looking forward to you guys reading the review of the Pellic album, because if you haven't heard him and his band at this point, now would be the time, because it's really, really awesome. So we're going to leave it at that for the week. Got more stuff coming, perhaps another special on Saturday, and definitely next Sunday, more reviews, more everything, interviews coming. Gonna do some major updates to the site and the look of things in the near future, and looking forward to unveiling all of that. So in the meantime, make sure you give us a like on Facebook. Make sure you check us out on Twitter. You can follow us there. Check out the site daily, and make sure you check out the sampler on our Bandcamp, sorroweternal.bandcamp.com, and get your hands on a copy of that for digital download or physical copy. Take your pick. Very, very limited quantity left on that, and very limited time left. So grab yourself a copy. Got some great bands on there who deserve your listens. So guys, until next week, just stay metal and enjoy yourself. Yes.